Welcome, everybody, to yet another episode of Core Podcast. If you are new here, we try to distill the entrepreneurial journey down to its core, focusing on real stories and daily struggles. I come to you today from a reasonably chilly Cape Town morning in South Africa, at the bottom of the great African continent. I am Yongama Skweyiya, and I am your guide on this journey of discovery, the resident chief advocate for innovation and entrepreneurship. And I thank you for joining us today. First on the roster today, as predicted, the South African M&A market or mergers and acquisition market is poised for an adrenaline shot. Friends that I've spoken to, largely around institutional asset managers and major private equity firms, confirm that they are working on major deals spanning leverage buyouts, management buyouts, and private equity acquisitions. The market seems to be gearing up for something interesting this time for 2025. And you can also see it in just the listed entities themselves. Came across Lesaka Technologies, the old Net One, and it had a great Q2 of 2025 with a net revenue growth of 42%. That's incredible numbers posted by Lesaka over there. And secondly, Astral Foods headline earnings per share are up by 245%. The Chicken King may be back after years of struggle with load shedding as well as chicken flu. I think it's an incredible turnaround of events at that business, and I wish them all the best. Which is also kind of funny because the CEO is looking to step down. Maybe it's one of those signs of a true gentleman leaving the floor while the music is still playing. In any case, a really good performance amidst a declining economic outlook for consumers, given how things are in South Africa at the moment. We are pinched as consumers. Chicken is our biggest and most popular protein source, and Astral is poised to make a real good headway over there. I think I also saw something with Quantum uh, eggs, major producer of eggs, and they having, I think, 13% headline earnings per share, if I'm not mistaken. And that shows you again, protein, access to protein, chicken and eggs are doing very well in the market, given the depressed nature of the market currently. We've also had some interesting things happen in the past few weeks. Dr. Sam Nujoma of Namibia passed away. This was a revolutionary and anti-apartheid activist and father of Namibia, because in 1995 he was the first president of Namibia. I think no, not 95. I think it might have been 90. He was the first president of Namibia when Namibia gained its independence from apartheid South Africa. Uh, Deepest condolences to the people of Namibia on the passing of Dr. Sam Nujoma, the father of Namibia. More towards our own country, we also had the passing of a heavyweight in entrepreneurial development and enterprise creation, the name of Mr. Doe Steyn. A lot of people find him famous for having built the Steyn City, which is an incredible multi-use precinct in Johannesburg towards Lanseria, close to Fourways. But before that, a long time ago, Mr. Steyn was involved in things like Telesure, which was an insurance business and became an insurance giant. He was behind Auto and General and left South Africa, and in the UK did BGL, which is Budget Group Limited, if I'm not mistaken, and also a massive insurance business that is broken up into smaller insurance businesses. But this gentleman was truly an icon in the insurance industry, built incredible wealth, built incredible value. Uh, we've got one of those situations where a true giant has fallen. And again, condolences to the Steyn family on the passing of Mr. Steyn. Then our last item on the roster this morning is the current war Mr. Trump has with South Africa. This one has cut me deep. I've been sitting and mulling about it for well over a week, and I just can't understand the logic behind the actions that are coming from the states. Largely because firstly, South Africa is hosting the G20 or presiding over the G20 for the year 2025. And I would have thought that anyone who is doing that, you would have more in-depth conversations with instead of judging things from afar. But, on his work with Doge and cutting costs of America, they've now cut 8 billion worth of aid to South Africa, and they have decided this on the reasons of efficiency on Doge, but also more starkly disturbing and shocking that we in South Africa are undergoing or pursuing genocidal behavior and also the appropriation of land from white people, which has no basis or value. We do, however, have a fantastic bill that came out about a month and a half ago. No, it could be a month now. We're still only in February. That helps us expropriate land for community development or societal benefit at a far more easier rate than what it's been in the past. This is largely to combat land speculators from holding land that could be used for societal benefit for long periods of time without actually utilizing it, speculating that the price will go up, or they know that government will pay outside the norm or the market price for that land. So this kind of brings that into kind of a manageable situation. Mr. Trump, on the other hand, understands this bill to be something where land is expropriated from a particular class and a race, and done so through violent means because of the farm murders that happen in South Africa. And the farm murders in South Africa do happen, and that's largely due to economic situation rather than socio or societal desire to kill off a particular race. Farms, by their very nature, are located in remote places with sparsely populated population, and every farm in their remote area would be an economic node surrounded by poverty. And as such, people take advantage of that, and they have now found a system of operation where they are able to go to these farms, basically ransack, steal, plunder, murder, and all of those things. And it's something that I know the South African police is working on. But the victims of such crime are not unique to white people. They are the majority of them, and that's largely because of historical factors where white or when colonial times, when white people came to Africa, they took most of the arable land. Therefore, they are the majority of farmers in the country. And if something is got to do with farmers and remote nodes of economic development, they would be in the majority in terms of being affected. But funny enough, stats shows that the farm murders themselves, the individuals being murdered, are not as as much as what is being reported. There's a huge proportion of that population that is black that's being murdered. And I'm not saying that is any better, but it is not based on genocide. It's based on crime and people trying to amass money or income or benefit or whatever reason people do crimes, but not really to do with genocide. I think in many ways, this again is merely America punishing South Africa for taking Israel to the International Court of Justice. And at the International Court of Justice, Israel was adjudicated as being genocidal towards the people of Palestine. We are not doing the same thing here. We've got a long history of protecting people's personal property and rights. Everyone enjoys that in South Africa, and also, funny enough, the group that was given or granted immigrant status or refugee status to America declined it to show you how great and how good it's going for them in South Africa. I think a study that I briefly looked at is that white people of South Africa, on average, are doing better than other white people of the world. So I really doubt that this would be something that goes any further. But the attacks on South Africa will probably continue. There's various reasons. It's more trade and politics around BRICS and the ICJ and various other things that make South Africa a great target, largely because we are small and we are not as well endowed as our partners in BRICS. But yeah, we will look at the onslaught and take it as it comes. It has given a lot of us in South Africa heart palpitations as well as negative sentiments and really heartbreak to see what a sitting president would do without consulting the other sitting president of that country to understand what is happening, together with the head of Doge and also ex-South African Elon Musk, who decided that he would be the one to lead the raid on the destruction, at least from a marketing perspective, of South Africa. And that has really been disturbing. It's really a sad thing to see, but it is what it is, and we keep on going. South Africans are known for their resilience, and we keep on going. Uh, I'm also very grateful to the conversations that I've had with some of our portfolio CEOs and companies over the past week. Uh, they have really made me understand and remember why we are in South Africa, why we want to create and build this nation. They have voiced and echoed a lot of the things that I thought is what makes South Africa great. So it's really wonderful to see it. I've decided to wean myself off X because the negative sentiments there are just hitting my performance and my daily mindset. So it's not going to work out. But I'm really grateful to these CEOs. More importantly, they showed me our vision to democratize access of services and products to people is a sound ideal. We became part of their businesses because we saw the vision that they have. And as a whole, I am very grateful that and thankful to all of these ladies and gentlemen who are incredible CEOs that we get to interact with in this ecosystem. And they moved me and they took me out of a dark spot, and really very grateful on that. Moving on to the conversation of this week. Uh, it's been 6 weeks since the year started. As is my custom, there are a few things that I've jotted down for the year. It can be re- regarded as goals or milestones that I want to achieve. They range from physical to spiritual, intellectual, and financial. And most of the plans I have or put down are to do with my annual plan. And this was introduced to me by a mentor back in 2012. And I've tried to build and perfect it over time. And I've also recruited my family to also join me on this, and everyone has their own thing and they draw up their own plans. And we share these plans and see how we can best help each other achieve them. And I found that it focuses me, and when things become a little bit tough, I'm always able to refer back to these plans to center myself. So the reason for this whole long intro is due to my appreciation for what mentors have done for me. The last 2 weeks has been quite a roller coaster ride outside of America's attack on South Africa. But one of our dearest mentors and friend has not been well. And I don't mean having a cold or a flu, but intensive care unit in hospital not doing well. And when we were at varsity in our early 20s, both Zolani and myself, we were elated and felt cool with the mentors that we had assembled. These were people who were 2, 3, or sometimes 4 decades older than us. They gave us access to so much understanding of life that we would have not had we not had them in our lives. These men and women became the practical class that has gotten to us, or that has gotten us to where we are today. They were there for us. However, in many ways, and we were very unaware of this, as we have grown older and hopefully wiser, they've also aged and become slower, and in certain instances have become frail. But I am still of the opinion that, as sad as it is to watch these great people deteriorate, which is the nature of the world, they have blessed us with immeasurable abilities. You know, a mentor fast tracks your development. They fast track your growth and your thinking. And when they work well with you, they challenge you to think completely different to what you were before and allow you to discover the hidden potential that's within you, within your organization, and within your team. They spark the growth and development as well as enhance your confidence because they are the ones who give you that motivation to walk into big rooms and speak to people of incredible caliber. We've been so blessed that most of the major CEOs, entrepreneurs of the country, we've been able to meet. And this is strictly through our mentors. Whether we met them for a brief moment or we actually had concrete conversations with them to understand the how they did it, what they thought of, and how they can give us clarity of thinking. One of the great things we learned at a very young age, still at varsity, is that if you're looking for money, go ask for advice. Because if you go and ask for money, all you'll get is advice. And this has been something that we've always kept in very well in mind, because we've always gone to look for advice for people because we wanted the advice. We really did not look for the money. And in many cases, we were given advice and also a lead to find money. And a lot of entrepreneurs focus just on raising capital without understanding the landscape, the nuances, and the abilities that one needs to have in order to manage all of this. Because even if you get all of the money that you require, there's still a major thing that you need to do in terms of sorting that out. You need a mentor to help you understand how to effectively manage your money. This is now personal money as well as business money. Personally, you need to live on a budget, set up a budget, be able to live within the means of that budget, because your business is not your piggy bank. This mistake is made not just by starting entrepreneurs, but even adults and even in presidents who think that the reserve banks or the money of the state or the money of the local government is theirs. And we need to learn and teach ourselves that no, I have a budget that I live on, I have a salary that I live on, I work for the company that I own, I am not the company that I own. And these are the important things that a mentor brings to you and helps you understand. Then, once you are in the business and growing the business, you need a mentor that will challenge you to better yourself. Better yourself in terms of understanding of self and to manage others. Because once you are able to manage other people, you are able to leverage their talents as well as your desire or vision for this business. Because by understanding self and others, you are able to plot a strategy of how to get to where you need to get to. So it's important that you realize that this journey of being an entrepreneur is not a journey that you can undertake on your own, where you think you're gonna bootstrap yourself to a billion or whatever. It takes time, it takes effort, and it takes learning and consistent learning. Learning of self, learning of the market and from the market, and iterating to something that is better. So the whole notion of entrepreneurship is an iterative process. Even personal development in entrepreneurship is an iterative endeavor. And one needs to focus on that because ultimately, even for your team, if they are to look at you as a leader, they need to understand that this person is in full understanding and control of themselves, that this person knows things about the industry as in order to lead us. It doesn't help that you are not respected by your team because you are a floundering leader, or you're crazy and you don't really read, you don't engage with mentors, you don't self-improve and all of those things. You will find that you will never get to a point where you are successful or even grow a business. Another thing with mentors, because they have walked the journey, they will kind of warn you around certain things that you don't need to go and learn this lesson. I can give it to you theoretically. Therefore, you can go and do something else. So they kind of shortcut you through the business world by showing you the best practices, by introducing you to the best ways of doing things, and also helping your mindset with certain things. One of the greatest things I think I've ever learned from a mentor is being able to sit and discern what is within my control versus what is not within my control. That which is within my control, I try and apply whatever needs to be applied to fix, and that which is not within my control, I let go and I give it away because I have no form of ability to manage and therefore I cannot do anything about it. And that is the kind of thing that one needs to understand is that if you have no control over it, don't stress about it because you cannot do anything to it. You are merely using energy that you could have been using more effectively in finding a solution over the things that you do have control over. So it's very important. And this is a lesson I would have never been able to learn had I not had that mentor that gave me that perspective and understanding. And the list goes on in terms of the things that mentors bring to the table for you. Access to networks, understanding networks is such an incredible thing. So within Isimoves, we've got and understanding. When we deal with entrepreneurs, we look at supporting them in three areas or three capitals, as we call it. There is, which everyone comes to any funder for, financial capital. That's the money. That is a commodity and you can get it almost anywhere. Then there is sweat capital. Sweat capital is when we come in because we are ex-operators and help you out in your business, help you with structure, help you with ability to build and all of those things. Then the third, and I think the most important, is social capital. Social capital is when you are opened or doors are opened for you by your funder or by whoever, a mentor, whoever, and by someone opening networks and access to things and people so you can walk in and be able to deliver, you can be able to showcase, you can be able to say things, and that doesn't come easily because it is such a niche and a wonderful thing that almost only uh, mentors can provide. Look, if you come from a family that is highly networked and wealthy, this is a natural thing. But if you come from an everyday kind of family, then these things are important. Social networking and social capital are the cornerstone of you going to where you need to go. Whether it is trying to secure a job, this is employment job, or trying to secure a job in terms of a particular contract, you need social networking in order to get you to where you need to get. And it's important that we understand the value of that. And also, when we are in positions of authority and power, that we are also able to extend back that networking that we received from others who went before us. You know, South Africa is made up of such incredible people, entrepreneurs at every level. Uh, just yesterday we were speaking to two gents that we've never heard of before. We met through a previous deal that we were trying to set up together, and listening to their history and the kind of depth in terms of business they've done, the areas that they've done it, and also the companies that they led and they're currently leading. It's just incredible to know that there are entrepreneurs out there who are doing incredible things that wider country does not know anything about. People who are building businesses. For instance, the gentleman was speaking with yesterday evening. You know, their business does a R500 million of turnover on an annual basis. That is I'm not sure the American breakdown into dollars, but R500 million is quite a massive amount of money, you know, and this is ARR. And you realize really the sheer magnitude and scale that this individual is leading. You know, prior to that, earlier in the day, we were speaking to another entrepreneur that we're looking to be part of his business, and they are doing a margins of 1,000% per item. And you're like, these are incredible numbers. You know, these robust entrepreneurs exist. And one of the interesting things, because I've been thinking about mentorship for most of the week, is asking them, so how did you get here and how did you do this? And the key thing that they put in is the people that came through their lives, the people that introduced them, the people that opened doors, the men, the friends, the acquaintances, all of those people were key to them succeeding and getting to where they needed to get to. And I think as entrepreneurs, we need to be very cognizant of that and understand that we cannot do this on our own. We need a community that comes around us, that helps us, that assists us, and more importantly, ensures that we are able to succeed in what we are doing. And if we don't do that, we're going to find ourselves in a situation where we're not accessing the right opportunities at the right time. We are taking long to convert opportunities into tangible things. We are losing out on certain opportunities that come our way. And more importantly, we're going to be miserable people. And if you're a miserable entrepreneur, it means you're going to be rude to other people within your organization, and also ecosystem wise, you're not going to be a contributor. Because ultimately, we all live in this ecosystem. We all want to improve this ecosystem. And I think one of the greatest things that you can do for yourself is find a mentor that can help you, find many mentors actually. And more importantly, as you age, as you gain experience, become a mentor to entrepreneurs that are younger than you. So you can also help them fast track their career, help them grow in order to be successful entrepreneurs in the future. Thank you so much. That concludes what I wanted to speak to you about. I wish you, each and every one of you, the very best. And for those who are starting out, come on, you can do this. There is an ecosystem for you, and there is this platform. Feel free to comment, feel free to reach out, and think in the next 6 weeks I'll be able to start setting up office hours, nothing fancy, 15 minutes to help out whoever needs help, and we see where we get to with assisting one another. Thank you very much for listening this week. I hope you have an awesome week. Until next time, let's keep the core strong.